Welcome everyone to the Season 6 Australian V-Prix of the International VTuber GT Championship. Let's see the highlights of the race. The event had a 29-car GT3 grid racing around one of the most spectacular racing venues in the world, Mount Panorama Circuit at Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia. This track has no mercy on driving mistakes. From pole position started Wei Hao-yu, driving for UMA Speed. Second was Le Casillas, then Albert Dirt, Reska Kioso, Moritz Reiniger, Mark Kame, with Rubio Costa rounding out the top 7. The drivers got away relatively cleanly, no crashes into turn 1. However, on the mountain straight, Icer Embra was maybe just a bit too aggressive on their teammate, Midnight Hurricane. A nightmare start for Hurricane, as they also got a drive-through penalty for an improper start procedure. At the same time, Le Casillas was already alongside Wei Hao-yu. The reigning champion in the BMW outbraked Yu into Griffin's Bend, so the second place starter was now in the lead. Reska Kioso was attempting an overtake on Albert Dirt, but the two drivers came together and lost a few positions. The first five's order was now Casillas, followed by Yu, Reiniger, Kame and Dirt. Reiniger's third place didn't last long, however. The Swiss McLaren driver lost it at Skyline, spinning out in the S's and dropping to the back of the grid. Their teammate at Ruenza X Hikari, Felix Night Fury 34, also found a wall at the outside of the S's after getting rear-ended by the NSX of Icer Embra. After exiting the mountain section, driver of the number 10 car, Williams Johnson, who started in 8th place, was now on the tail of Reska Kioso. After Kioso had a poor exit out of the chase, Johnson gained a position. Reska didn't give up so easily though. After a switchback in the last corner, they re-overtook Johnson into the hell corner. This meant the Chinese driver got the slipstream going up the mountain. By the second corner, they were back in P5. Meanwhile, Emilio Andersson was fighting Blank Ryuzaki. Overtaking the number 44 BMW, the former VTuber champion from Sweden was ahead by the start of the second lap. The French-Indonesian veteran Akito Azusagawa was having problems at turn 7. They hit the wall at one of the most unforgiving sections, badly damaging the only Lexus on the grid. While trying to recover, they almost collected their Coneco Racing teammate Gary Slater. A day to forget for the former Super VT and VTLM champion. After running wide at the dipper, Icer Embra hit the wall. At first elbow, Embra collected Ryuma Tateyama. Both drivers crashed into the outside wall. Meanwhile, the recovering Moritz Reiniger was chasing down Charles XIV, who was running in P14. The Ferrari drivers from the United States had to avoid the crashing cars ahead of them, which resulted in a bad exit. Reiniger was already ahead by turn 20. However, just a few seconds later, the McLaren ran off the track at Murray's corner, hitting the tire wall in the process. The 14th was back in 14th. But by the time they reached Griffin's Bend, Reiniger re-overtook them with the help of the mighty slipstream. P7 runner, Rubio Costa, had a massive shunt at the top of the mountain after spinning out on the exit curbs of turn 10. They ended up losing 3 positions. Costa wasn't the only Juventus Soda ex-Queen's Design driver to find the wall at that place though. Resca Chioso crashed in the S's, damaging their M4 in the process. Lei Hao Yu ran wide at the chase, losing a bit of time. Mark came behind them, saw an opportunity, but changed their mind later. Albert Yard ended up dive-bombing them into the last corner, bumping the Aston Martin into the gravel trap. This was a massive blow for the younger racing driver from the US, who dropped from P3 all the way to P15. While running in P8, Ryuzaki also crashed after the dipper. Their car got damaged. Williams Johnson, whose BMW was also damaged, decided to pit in just the 4th lap of the race. They had a lot of ground to make up afterwards. Resca Chioso stayed out. They might have regretted their decision after Victor Masato, owner of VM Interplanetary, overtook them into turn 2 with a massive speed advantage. The Swiss Honda driver didn't get to keep P4 for too long though. They spun after the dipper, losing multiple positions. It was now Emilio Andersson's time to overtake the struggling BMW of Chioso. Surely enough, by the next corner, the Swedish VTuber was already running in 4th. The already terrible race just got worse for Hurricane after they spun and crashed at Skyline. The lost 3 downforce meant they took the rallying line at Chase. On lap 6, Resca Chioso decided to end their suffering and pit for repairs. The battle for 9th position was on. Moritz Reiniger was trying to get past Shike Håkan. The circuit's tight nature didn't let the driver of the number 34 car do that just yet though. After they exited the mountain section, the Indonesian Porsche driver and owner of Cross Area Shirt became much more vulnerable. The 911 appeared to have the higher top speed, and after Reiniger outbraked them into chase, they managed to snatch the position. Moritz Reiniger wasn't the only Cudenza ex-Hikari driver to be making moves though. Their teammate, Felix Knifefury 34, overtook Polish driver Adrian Dubrovka into Griffin's Bend. A few laps later, another McLaren was on the tail of Shike Håkan. This time it was Gary Slater from Scotland. After getting on the brakes later, Slater overtook Håkan around the outside. By lap 13, Williams Johnson was chasing down Tars the 14th for P10. The UMA Motorsport driver rejoined in 19th place after that early pit stop. Going into the hell corner, Johnson overtook the Ferrari sporting SDTS colors. Further down the grid, Damian Pristupa was in the slipstream of Kageru Kanemoto, planning to overtake the German driver in P19. Pristupa's move didn't turn out that well. The Polish cross-area shirt racer lost the rear of their Porsche in turn 20, spinning into Kanemoto at 270 km an hour. This was one of the biggest shunts of the whole race. On lap 13, Albert György went into the pits. The Hungarian VM Interplanetary driver was stuck behind Weihao Yu for many laps at that point and attempted an undercut on them, which turned out to be successful. The next one to take on Shikei Hoken was Victor Masato. The NSX wasn't gaining on the 911 enough to go for the move just yet. After having a better exit out of chase, they went for an overtake into Mervis. With this move, Victor was up to P13. Moritz Reiniger was still on the charge. After catching up to Gary Slater, with the help of slipstream on the Conroe straight, the Swiss driver moved up into 8th place. Just when Ryoma Tateyama thought their race couldn't get any worse, they got spun by Reiniger. Gary Slater and Rubio Costa had to take avoiding action. The Mexican BMW driver was 1.6 seconds behind the McLaren of Slater at the beginning of the lap, but by the end of the mountain they were right on the tail of the Konaco Racing driver. Into chase, Acosta also overtook the Scotsman. Night Fury 34 was in the battle for P17. After exploiting Shikei Hoken's bad exit out of chase, the number 134 driver made the move into the last corner. At turn 4, Hoken met a fellow Porsche driver, Imentrix. The Indonesian was patiently waiting for an overtaking opportunity, but the Vitality driver crashed at the hollow and collected them. Troubles for Hoken didn't seem to end. At the same place a few laps later, Reiniger, who was a lap ahead, lost it and crashed into the number 310. On lap 22, Bresca Chiozzo was chasing down a fellow VTuber, Merkur VR. Merkur hit the wall at Forest's elbow, which allowed the Briton to get through. As you can see here, the Audi R8 of Merkur was badly damaged. The only Argentinian driver on the grid, Cianciullo, scraped the wall at turn 9, which sent them across the track straight into the barriers. The hard hit destroyed the front end of the Mercedes. Emilio Andersson caught up to Merkur VR after just a few laps. The German VTuber clearly had a pace deficit, but in the last minutes of the race, Andersson didn't risk a move on the mountain. By the time they reached the Conrad Straight, the driver of the pink McLaren could finally take on the damaged Audi. After this move, Andersson was running in 6th. At the start of the final lap, race leader Le Casillas had a certified cold brown moment with trazione integrale. This didn't stop the Swiss swaggy racing driver from taking the checkered flag in first position though. A very well deserved victory for Le Casillas, who controlled the race basically from start to finish. Albert George finished in 2nd place, also taking the fastest lap. This is the Honda driver's first podium since the Season 4 Japanese V-Prix. The last driver to finish on the podium was Wei Haoyu from China. Here are the detailed race results.